What's up, you guys? Welcome back out in the garage for another shop day. And boat gang, hope you're all having an amazing weekend out there. And got some boats ran yesterday, might even go run the Sniper today. But right now, wanted to give you guys a quick update on this Decepticon because I know I've been teasing you guys with these new ESCs and I've been so excited to run it. And I think you guys probably know how it is when you spend a bunch of money on a boat, right? And you go crazy on it. You kind of have these expectations of like taking it out and it's going to run amazing. And it's pretty frustrating when you go out and basically ended up getting more smoke. And you can see my stuffing tube right in here. And at the end is a bit discolored. And basically what we're dealing with is a misalignment. And your boy here, this guy, seem to have kind of screwed up. And so these motor plates, right? I custom cut these motor plates. They were an absolute son of a you-know-what to get in. I lightened them. I drilled a hole in them. Basically, they go up into the deck. They add support this way. They're custom cut, custom sized, and they are so difficult to perfectly align. And so when I built it, this side gave me a little bit of trouble. I kind of had to, this stuffing tube went right in. And obviously, I align everything, right? When I built the boat, everything was aligned. I used like guides and stuff, and so it was perfect. But I had to kind of bend the stuffing tube a little bit because this one had a bit more angle. Long story short, I'm kind of just irritated right now with this boat and with myself. The new ESCs, I got, 2 sets of brand new props and hundreds of dollars. And last time out, the boat didn't like, I added some negative strut, which the boat didn't really like because typically if you've got props that lift, like a traditional lifting prop, they're not going to like a bunch of angle because the lift is already built in. A lot of times they like to run a little more neutral or very slight angle. And then you'll use, typically with a prop like a medium lift Octura, something like that, you'll use a little bit more CG to fine tune those. They like to be a little more flat. And then typically on mine, I'll adjust the depth. And that's kind of where I find it. So before I go into a huge, long, rambling thing, I'd like to prepare you guys. I've got my tools and I'll try and film it. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this up against here. I'm going to beat on this thing like it owes me money. And all my beautiful black epoxy work. Go ahead and take a look at those beautiful beads, everything I spent hours doing. Woo-wee. And yeah, it's going to get hammered out, realigned. I'm going to take a soldering iron to the stuffing tube, right? So the heat from the soldering iron will break it loose, and I'll just redo it. And it's going to be a lot easier because I already got the plate. Everything's fine, but we're going to have to realign it because evidently it's just off enough. And these motors are pretty high kV. They spin about 44,000 RPM unloaded. And it's a twin with smaller props. So it is unloading pretty good, right? You can hear it. This is like the loudest boat that I have. And it probably would have been fine with like a little less RPM, maybe. But it is what it is. So I'll film the actual process of hammering the Decepticon, and we'll do that real quick. Wanted to show you guys the Geico. So this was out last time, and this boat is absolutely loving this Skeg Strut. So if you have a 42, even a 29, or even a 36 single, which you probably don't, the Skeg is pretty amazing what it can do. Pretty amazing because it is giving the back end a lot more grip. But onto the problem. So the strut mount that I have, as you can see, I'm having issues focusing, camera focusing. I'm focused, you guys. Oh, it's focused. Okay, so there's too much play in here, right? Loosey-goosey, no good. So what I've had to do is I've made this. This is G10. It's a little shim, and it goes, allergies, goes on one side, and it basically shims this so this can work in here. Problem is, the only way to use it is it has to get offset to one side or the other. So obviously it's a single, so I'm going to offset it to the right side, right, to build in a little left turn because it's a single, and they automatically want to go to the right. Problem is, I don't think this thing likes being offset because you've got this fin. It has to be perfect. Otherwise, the boat, if you saw, it kind of acts like a crazy fish, right? Trying to do that. Also, no fault of theirs, but on this RC Boat Bits rudder, you guys can probably see it's got this blunt edge at the bottom, which is kind of not how you want it, kind of not a good design. So, plus, it's a big boat, and I think it would do better with a longer skeg. So I'm going to get the Speedmaster. I think I'm going to get the 1/4-inch version, and I'm going to modify it for 3/16. So I'm going to shim it down. So basically, that one's designed for a 1/4-inch cable. I'm going to put one size, so I'm going to put a 5/16 tube in it, and then I'm going to put a 1/4-inch tube in it and run a 3/16 cable. Right now, this boat has a Teflon liner, kind of an oversight when I built it. I don't really like Teflon liners. I want to get rid of that too. And then also, I'm thinking TP motor, castle, more power, and a big 1/4-inch skeg hanging into the water. I think that's going to be the move, you guys, because when I put the skeg on this thing, it was dialed. It just needed more overhead to keep running it harder and more finely tuned, because I could tell as soon as I put the skeg on, this has happened 2 or 3 times now, the boat starts doing weird stuff. So that's the Geico update. Loving the boat. I was actually shocked. I hope you guys saw the last video of how well it did with the skeg. And basically the situation is 2 runs out, this boat in a straight line was like dialed. And then last run out, in my opinion, it was dialed in the turns. But then it was doing some weird stuff in the straight. So we're going to combine the two, and I'm really excited. I think this thing's going to be absolutely killer. More power, and let's get into the Decepticon. Yeah, so I'll be honest, you guys, when I spend like a bunch of money on a boat, and I get all excited and everything, right, and then something doesn't work out, I'm very tempted, to be honest, to just throw this thing up on a shelf and come back to it in a month or 2. But the reality is, maybe I don't really want to let this fester. I don't really want to let this fester because I know that if I let it fester, I'm just... Oh, dude, this thing's in there good. Oh, boy. Yeah, I used some good G-Flex. I ran beads all the way up both sides. I mean, this thing was designed to never come out ever. And this just breaks my heart, you guys. It really does. I'm gonna break it out. I'm tired of this thing, dude. There it is. Did something happen? Holy smokes. Good God, you guys. Wow. I'll tell you what, that G-Flex, and I know some people don't like to dye it black because you think that it weakens it, which it does, but this thing is in there so freaking good, you guys. All right, I might have to try a metal. It's slipping. Okay, so it's not breaking it loose, it's just slipping. Holy hell. Wow, you guys, I think I have the world's strongest motor mounts. Shout out to Rogala Marine RC for being the undisputed motor mount king. I hung these little 36 millimeters off there, and these were never... Oh, it's loose. Okay, check it out. So we're loose here on the inside. Yeah, so we broke the inside loose. We're stuck up top. And you guys, I took my finger with a glove and a glob of thickened G-Flex, and I ran it all the way. I wish you guys could see the epoxy work that I did to this thing to get it so freaking stout. I'm going to keep banging on it. You guys don't need to see that. Look at me. I'm literally sitting here hammering my boat, and I've got a towel in there because I'm just worried about scratching something. All right, let's see here. Good grief. Well, we got it partially there. What do we do here? Oh, okay. So we're just wiggling it around, and it's... Oh, God. All right. So the epoxy's breaking free from the hull. It's just, we're stuck. Okay, the bottom's free. Oh, my God. I feel like I'm just... Woo! A little stressful, but... All right. I can probably leave you guys here. You get the idea. The whole thing's free. We're just stuck up top. I'm going to try and hammer it from a different angle. And let's get this thing going, boys. Let's freaking go. All right, we're free. I even left the motor on there just for a little extra leverage. And it looks like a pretty clean break. Oh, there goes all the water. So here you guys can see, I told you guys I did an epoxy job like this thing was going to be in there forever. So quick hit with the Dremel. I'll get all this off. It looks like up here, it pretty much all broke free. It broke free from the hull, which is ideal because now I've got the motor. I've got all my epoxy. So I just sand all this off, realign it. I'll hit that stuffing tube with a soldering iron, heat it up, rip it out, and we are back in business. That was not as bad as I expected. But yeah, check these motor plate. I mean, I cut these holes, I matched them, I shaped it, I traced it. I did all of this to fit perfect. I had to align the motor. These things were a complete bitch, you guys, I'll be honest. And they were like so close. It was so close. And you could see a little white line, kind of probably pulled some of the resin off the hull. But we're going to fix that. And yeah, everything's just going to get realigned, and I feel a little better knowing that's out. The tubes down here is a little loose, but same thing. I'm probably going to have to grab that with something, spin it around. And yeah, boat otherwise is fine. Time to realign. Anyway, if you guys stuck around for that, shout out to the boat gang. You guys are awesome. This is not something... I'm glad this is done. I feel good about it. ProBoat UL19. I've got the motor shipped out. That will be here Wednesday next week. I've got a new prop coming for the Lizard. I sent the old prop out to Scott. Shout out to Scott. He's going to make some good use out of that. And then... yeah, I'm going to get everything out. Decepticon's going to be good. We're going to fix that. We're going to neutral out the struts again like they were, like the boat likes. We'll be mid to high 70s once again with the new alignment. Should run a little bit cooler. Lizard will be faster. It's going to be a fully P-legal mid 60s. Definitely going to be faster. That's the goal with that one. UL19, brand new motor, brand new ESC. It's going to go to a 4S 2P setup. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you guys like the content. Thumbs up is always appreciated. This one will get the motor aligned. Maybe I'll post a short once it's back in, looking all pretty and good to go. And of course, the Geico will be ready. Geico's going to get that new strut. I'm going to get that order into OSE. Have a great weekend, you guys. Catch you on the next one. Peace.